Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
💂💊💂💏
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Can you hear me? Yes. Welcome to my show. I am the American Anchor Baby. You're watching my show. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that. Appreciate the patience there. We're going to get started here in just a moment. I see your calls coming in. 888-775-3773. We'll get to all of you. But yes, good afternoon. Welcome to my show. So I'm going to get into it here. Have you checked your green lines lately? Have you checked? Have you checked your green lines? I'm going to be talking about a little bit of this theory and if people are passing this test or not. Okay? We're dealing with some of this as well as some conversations I had. Well, a start of a conversation I had on Twitter and some thoughts I had about that with Bryson Gray about what? Christianity, Jesus, and some thoughts I had about the Sabbath. What is that? And there's plenty to get to today. We got some other stuff that's happening in the world, right? Censorship, race, and some things that I want to get into, okay? So we'll do all that in your calls, 888-775-3773. Make sure you drop that follow, that subscribe, that like, that comment here on this very YouTube channel. Hit me up on Rumble if you like. That's rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. As well as my podcast. I don't plug it that much, but it's there should you want to listen to the show after the fact. As a podcast, I'm on Spotify as well as Substack, American Anchor Baby. So, have you checked your green lines? Okay? Check your green lines quick. Well, there's a theory online which is supposed to reveal the truth between couples, okay? And I've talked about this a little bit on Nick's stream, the Friday flights. I've mentioned this a couple times, but it seems to be going mainstream. Okay, the green line test, okay? The truth between couples, the green line test. It was made famous by this guy on Twitter, Rivellino. Okay, and the test revolves around taking pictures. You take pictures of couples, okay? And you draw various green lines as well as other factors. But you draw various green lines to show the angle with which couples are leaning into each other, okay? As well as other things. But essentially, the one leaning in is the passive one. And don't even get me started. If you're the one, or if someone's leaning away from you, if someone in the couple is leaning away, well, that's even worse. But that's essentially the green line test, if you will. Okay? And this test has been making rounds online with various examples that have gone viral. Hold on, sorry. Can you hear me? Everything's going well, right? The chat's not saying anything's wrong, okay? So everything's looking good. We're going to keep the stream going. So the green lines. It's made the rounds online. Various examples have gone viral, okay? It made waves in the media. Okay? Let's see if I can even show you some. But the green line test, right? I told you about Rivellino. And it's made some noise. It's made some noise online with publications, the media even picking it up. Discounting it mostly. Okay, psychologist busts green line relationship theory. Here's an example, too, this image. It's an image of Mary-Kate Olsen and her former, ex-husband, or really, her ex, Olivier, what is this guy's name? This French banker, Olivier Sarkozy, okay? Here he is. You can see a little example of this green line test. He's leaning in, and they've added in maliciously a thought bubble where the Mary-Kate Olsen here says, what's this text bubble say here? It says, I got to get out of here. So malicious. That's not what, she can't be thinking that, right? Impossible. That's just editorializing. And the post continues, says, the green line test was coined by a Twitter account named Alpha Rivellino, which should tell you everything you need to know about the theory, and they put that in quotation marks, to imply, to show they're incredulous of this theory put forth by this Alpha Rivellino, implying giving that a negative connotation, right? Oh, Alpha, let's just tell you everything you need to know about that. It's just another Alpha who thinks he knows the marriage between Mary-Kate Olsen and Olivier Sarkozy, whatever. As if you would even know. That should tell you everything. Wait a second. Hold up. Wait. Hold on. They did divorce or whatever. It didn't work out between them. But no way, right? Impossible. That was just one picture. That was just like one picture. Who's really going to believe that because Olivier, a banker, French banker, got the money? You're telling me that in this picture they showed, this one picture he's leaning in, that's why it didn't work out between them? That's ridiculous. We all know that's ridiculous, right? Let me Google images this guy. Hold on. Let me Google it. No, there's just no way, right? It's just impossible. Okay, that's a bad example. I'm showing you a Google image. I'm just going on Google Images and picking up their pictures. Okay, he's leaning in a little bit here. Okay, that's a bad example. All right, that's a bad example too. No. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, no, move on. Oh no. All right, no, this can't be true. No, let's move on. This is ridiculous. Google Images is feeding me these pictures. And it's ridiculous, okay? I need a source and citation before I start believing I need sources and citations from experts and scientists before I start revealing a ridiculous theory like this, okay? Let's move on. We got real news to report. This theory made rounds online with articles and like I just read, implying negative connotations, and this Rivellino guy is a bit of a controversial figure in that respect. In his own Twitter bio, he writes how he writes down a line from a Newsweek article describing Rivellino and his work. The green line theory was coined by Twitter user Rivellino, who also uses his account to discuss incel-linked theories. Ooh. The media is going after him. The journalists are going after him. Oh, I need to put away my previous conceptions because I feel like he might be based. But if he's peddling incel-linked theories, he must not know what he's talking about, right? Newsweek must know what they're talking about. We should trust Newsweek, or I'm confused. Anyways, let's move on. Oh, and so he's gone viral with various examples. One most recently, let me give you one that you might know. One recently was Jay-Z. What was it? Here it was. Jay-Z here with Beyonce. Here's an example. It's a little vulgar. Some of these words here on this image are vulgar. My apologies, but here he is, the Jay-Z, and his angle, his green line. It doesn't look like he's passing the green line test. Ugly hat, leaning away. Beyonce is leaning away. We're gonna move on from this picture. So he didn't pass the green line test, but that can't be true, right? That can't be true, right? This is ridiculous. Is Jay-Z a beta with Beyonce? Beyonce, all the single ladies, the girl boss Queen Bee? No way, right? Only one man could handle all that woman, right? It had to be Jay-Z. The same man slapped in that video over people would allege that in this famous video where I believe it was Beyonce's sister slapped Jay-Z. Online speculation wouldn't let go that it was a cheating scandal. It was a cheating scandal. Some say, I remember when, what was it? It was Beyonce at the time released this album called Lemonade, I believe. Beyonce's Lemonade studio album, 6th studio album, 2016. And at the time, I had myself a girlfriend, which is false and fake anyways. If you listen to Joel Friday, I had a little girlfriend. And as we all know, that's fake. That's not, the sync is off, my apologies. I had myself a little girlfriend, okay? Where was I? And I, at the time, thought it would be smart to take her to a Beyonce concert or something like that. And she had released Lemonade at the time. And Lemonade, if you don't know, is a basically top-down album of female empowerment and hate. And it's like cheating story this and how could you that? And I'm sitting there in this concert going like, Beyonce, you were supposed to, I sat down and it was just man hate. I'm sitting there feeling like an idiot, and I wanted my money back. I felt like an idiot sitting there. Like, anyways. So, maybe some might say Jay-Z's weak for letting her put out that album. But that's ridiculous, right? That's just totally ridiculous, this theory. Did Obama pass the green line test? Ooh. Not looking good. It's not looking good. Not looking good. Oh, hold on. What about Tom Brady? This one kind of went viral as well. Oh, no. We have a lean away from his ex-wife, Gisele. Is it Gisele Bundchen? Her model, his model ex-wife, who they had issues recently, and it came out, and she was not happy, and he was going back and forth from the football stuff, and she was like, it's either me or football. At least some were speculating. Not Tom Brady, even Tom Brady. Where was this last one? Some of you might not be surprised about this one. Will Smith, look at this. This is a major lean in. What the heck is that angle, man? I mean, if you're going to lean in, but do you really have to lean in like that? Do you really have to lean? Oh, no, says Willie Powell. Some people, you guys. Oh, no. Look at this. Who's the simp body language? Jada looks scary. Never lean into mama or be enslaved into her infidelity. Yeah, Jada's looking hard. She's looking hard. She's looking like a homie I went to school with. Anyways, then pass the green line test. But this is ridiculous, right? Who's gonna believe this half-baked, misogynistic, so-called alpha male theory? Okay, There's no way. These are all bad examples, okay? Every male I showed you there has had some kind of controversy where they seem weak to the woman they're leaning into in that picture. But that's merely a coincidence, okay? You guys are being ridiculous conspiracy theorists, reading way too into what? It's just a picture, and you're leaning into a picture, okay? You know, this theory made the rounds a couple years. You know, it's been making the rounds, but it's been derided. You know, made fun of by the media as a ridiculous theory. Okay, Daily Mail. Does leaning into women make men needy, weak, and pathetic? The man who says so gets trashed on Twitter, and similar articles written by Carly Stern, maybe other women out there unhappy with this misogynistic theory. They were making fun of Rivellino not too long ago, okay? A man who goes by Rivellino has dedicated his Twitter account to lecturing on how men and women should behave. Oh, he's such a nagging lecturer. He says that men who lean into a woman physically, emotionally, or socially are needy, weak, and pathetic. Yeah, that's such a ridiculous statement. Like, could ever be true. He insists that women want strength and won't be attracted to men who don't assert power. Okay, stop talking, Daily Mail. We get it. We know this is fake. You're starting to make sense, Daily Mail. Stop talking. And so Daily Mail brings in psychologists and experts to debunk this whole thing. Most would say, hold on. I'm trying to read you this part here. Yeah, and I'm getting photos of, oh no, here's another example. It's Prince Harry, leaning into Meghan Markle, but that, of course, is just another coincidence, right? That's ridiculous, okay? And so they brought in the experts to debunk this, and it was a done deal. It was put away. It was over with. Put away the theory. It was over with. The experts are done with it. You can go home, you incel so-called alpha males, whatever. Yeah, you can go home. You already got told by the experts, so we can put that away and never talk about it again, right? Well, Rivellino is showing that things might be changing. He posted this image of Daily Mail articles side by side, really, where they don't exactly have the same tune, okay? They're not exactly singing the same tune here. Daily Mail article. Do you dare take the green line love test as new trick reveals who really wields the power in a relationship? And then, you know, some woman, Sarah Rainey, analyzes celebrity couples to find out who wears the trousers. Hold on, Daily Mail. Hold on. Wait, I was just defending you guys against these misogynistic men. Okay, you guys are making me look bad. You guys are flipping. You guys are going on 180 on this, saying it's a new trick and it reveals who really wields the power. Do you wear the trousers in your relationship, or do you tend to let your partner lead the way? If you're unsure, there's now a very simple way to find out. It's called the green line test. Okay, we already know about this. We talked about it. But does it really stand up to scrutiny? Yes, says body language expert Mike Carter. They brought in the experts, and the experts have changed their tune. Maybe the experts aren't that smart. I always find it funny how experts, the experts, these academics and stuff, every now and then they'll go all the way around back to the truth, and they'll say something that makes sense. Like, whoa. You guys seeing this right now? I got like an after image effect going on. I'm like moving. I'm moving way too fast. I'm moving too. How is this happening? It's the after image effect. It's speed move. That's pretty cool. I don't know how I did that. Let me see if I can fix it. All right, there. Had a little speed move effect there. Sorry for the distraction. But they brought in the experts. They changed their tune. What's going on here? Almost as if there is no consensus amongst experts. Maybe we shouldn't just go along with experts. Yes, says body language expert, like we didn't know. And I was just saying, yeah, every now and then they go all the way around and they come back and say something that makes sense. Like I saw some female dating experts the other day. It was some article and they're like, studies show that it was something about like long-term marriage. Like something about, I don't know, that staying in a marriage is just better for raising children. Studies show that out of couples who decide to stay together, their families are doing just fine. It's like, yeah, thanks, experts. Appreciate the cold stats on that. Definitely needed that. My power level was too high for the camera. After image effect. So yeah, yes, the body language expert says we tend to lean physically towards things that we want, like, and feel strongly about. Oh, okay, well that makes me... See, these people just like and feel strongly for their women. What's so bad about that? Okay, you misogynists doing all the green lines. What's so wrong about that? So should we all be leaning towards our partners? Rachel New, a relationship coach, says leaning indicates a person is willing to accept influence, which means they take on board their other half's suggestions and are open to changing their mind without becoming defensive. Okay. A very wordy way of saying someone leads and someone follows. I mean, I'll just summarize it for you if you'd like there, Rachel New. I know that you're a thinking lady. Might be dangerous. You might have had too much to think. I know you're a thinking lady with nice words, and you're an expert, as they say, a relationship coach, as they say. But, you know, just thought I'd give you some of that good old language, okay? Someone leads, someone follows. Maybe that's what you're trying to say. Men tend to be less good at this. So if the man is leaning in, it is a very good sign that he feels secure and confident in himself, she adds. Oh, okay. Ideally, both partners would lean in. But the man leaning in is a close second for a healthy relationship. There you go, guys. Don't worry. Rachel New, the female relationship coach here, is telling you guys it's just fine. Leaning in is a good sign because you're secure and confident. Okay, if you're, like she said earlier here, if you're willing to accept her influence by leaning in, and you let her and you take on board her suggestions without any fight or becoming defensive, then it's fine because it means you're confident. You're confident in letting her lead. Okay, and that is just so attractive, guys. That is so attractive. Ideally, both partners would lean in. Okay? So in fact, like she says, both partners would lean in. Both partners would obey each other. Both partners would listen to each other, which makes logical sense, right? Anybody disagree? With the female dating coach here, Rachel New? Or do we know better than that? Where was I? And they go on and analyze a bunch of pictures. And these relationship experts basically agree now. They say, they'll show here's a picture of Will Smith showing how Jada is in charge of Will. But here's the thing, they never say it's good or bad. These experts here are now agreeing with Rivellino's theory and showing that, and because before it was, no, this is a ridiculous theory. These are misogynists. They don't know what they're talking about. It doesn't mean anything. Now they're saying, well, it does mean something. And leaning in means willing to follow, meaning they're accepting this framework that in a relationship, someone leads and someone follows. Okay, so at least they'll accept that. The difference here is they're not making any value judgments on whether that's good or bad. They're just saying it is what it is. Okay, a little bit of a tune change amongst the media, so it's interesting here. The media changing their tune and accepting this framework of a leader, not a leader, okay? Which is kind of a big change. You following me here? The ideology behind all this so far? You follow me? Let me know. But yes, the experts are here to tell you, the experts are here to update their knowledge and tell you, well, the green line is legit. But here they are saying, here's one excerpt from one of the experts. There are many reasons partners lean in, okay? The way someone poses in a photograph, whether they're standing next to their partner or seated, okay? It's neither expert-backed or scientifically proven, says the relationship experts, seemingly trying to calm people down. Why would they need to write an article calming people down? Does it feel like a lot of people are believing this? Someone's got to stop this misinformation from getting out there, or else people are going to believe this stuff. So they're telling you to calm down. It's fine. But do you dare take this green line test? What are you guys saying in the chat? Oof. Trump carries the woman at the beach. That's the only... Are you saying he passed the green line test? Hake. Some of you are understanding what I'm saying. Very bad sign from the man leaning in. Bad news. You guys seem to be understanding here. So you guys are telling me you guys believe this crap? this half-baked theory? Are you guys being convinced? No, impossible. You guys are I don't know how much more I can keep up this charade where I'm incredulous at this theory. And I'll give you my take here in a moment. But where was I? The ladies are telling you it's fine. Relax. Lean in. It's fine. Hold on. I wanted to comment on something from this article before I moved on. Where was it? But yeah, essentially, they don't tell you, these experts now agreeing with it, don't tell you whether it's bad or good. They don't make a statement, a value statement, which is a big difference from what Rivellino's doing in those pictures. Because he's pointing out that these people are weak and that women don't want that. That relationships have either not... He's shown failures of the green line test whose relationships are either not working or, in his estimation, they're unhappy and stuff like that. So it's not... So it's a little bit more than just... Okay, fine, it's legit. Someone's leaning into someone. It's also that the male shouldn't lean into the woman. That is an essential point to what Rivellino's saying here. But is this theory real? Like, come on. Are we really going to believe this? You know who's not passing the green line test? Mayor Bill de Blasio. You know Mayor Bill de Blasio. We've talked about him. I talked about him yesterday, I believe, or the other day. And we know he's him and his wife of, 30-something years, Chirlane McCray, they are separating, although they're to remain married and living in the same home. But they will now be in a open marriage, open relationship, as they say. They'll be free to date others and have fun, as Chirlane McCray says. I just want to have fun. She says, Chirlane McCray says, I just want to have fun, before she quickly turns to Bill de Blasio and says, we had fun, though. We had fun, though, babe. Right? We had fun. But as you can see here, this is quite an egregious lean-in from Bill de Blasio. Quite an egregious lean-in, quite the angle, very, very, not good. Yes, egregious angle here. Not a cute angle, not very cute at all, in fact, I would say. Okay? I wouldn't call this a cute one. At all. But so he's not passing the green line test. Some of you are already pitying the fool, saying, oh, see, this explains it. Well, how are you? All right, green line test, you're starting to make sense you're starting to make sense, but I just can't go along. Like, where are your sources? Where's your evidence? Okay, yes, she wants an open relationship and she wants to just have fun, and and there's some weird stuff going on there. Fine. I did say I wanted evidence. You might call this evidence, but are we really just going to believe a crazy theory like that? Come on, guys.
Big change for us, but Bill and I are still very much in love.
Outside the Park Slope home she shares with the former mayor, �𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 confirmed she and Bill de Blasio are separating, but still going to live here and date other people.
Came to this decision together.
The couple told the New York Times they've had a months-long discussion. Why aren't you lovey-dovey anymore, de Blasio asked his wife. You can't fake it, Ms. McRae said Tuesday from their kitchen table. You can feel when things are off, Mr. de Blasio said, and you don't want to live that way. Instead, they'll live in what many would describe as an open marriage.
It's a positive move and the best thing for both of us.
10 years ago, the de Blasio's loving marriage was very much a centerpiece of his surprise victory. The former mayor also referenced his wife's romantic past. For the guy who took the chance on a woman who was an out lesbian and wrote an article called I Am a Lesbian, Mr. de Blasio said, there was a part of me that would at times say, is this like a time bomb ticking? Is this something that you're going to regret later on? So I always lived with that stuff. Today in Brooklyn, neighbors seemed supportive.
I think that's wonderful that you have a different style of relationship that makes them both
happy. Better. You're on camera.
We really are in a new world of marriage.
Matrimonial lawyer Jacqueline Newman said the next chapter of Bill and �𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𔥬 is also about our modern reality, real estate.
But a lot of times, the marital home is the most expensive asset. So very often people can't afford to replicate their lifestyles without staying in the marital home. So that we see.
So it's a transaction, as I've heard said. But yeah, that lady saying, it's great, I love it. She probably does believe that. But you better say that. You're on camera, okay? Or else the gay Gestapo will come knocking on your door, okay? Hey, excuse me, lady. That's not very freedom of you. We're going to have to give you a talking. Would you like to... We're going to have to be placing you in a re-education camp. I mean, a totally voluntary educational seminar. How about that? Because that wasn't very freedom of you. You need to accept all walks of life. But yeah, interesting situation, and they're putting it out there, right? And �𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 is saying she wants to be an example. This is what's crazy about this, and we're gonna get into this because it's just, we already showed Bill de Blasio didn't pass the green line test. Okay, leaning into �𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, and we know a little bit about them. I'm reading this article here. It says, but the couple married in 1994 by two gay officiators who are parents to Chiara and Dante. I mean, was that a sign of what's to come? Bill de Blasio himself mentions how it was he worried about this being a ticking time bomb. His wife being an out lesbian before. And I want to have a comment about that. I don't want to forget ticking time bomb. And so they said something about that something was off about living that way, about how their daily lives, there was an offness between them. And it was just off. Anybody relate? It was the energy, the vibe, the energy was off. And they did not want to live like that anymore. Okay? And, many wonder, what kind of marriage is that? What kind of marriage is that? You living like that? The energy's off. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Everything's off. Anybody relate to that? Anybody relate to the energy being off? Especially with your woman, whatever. What is that? And so many probably see this and they think, well, I understand. Who wants to live like that? Who wants to have a marriage like that? Probably a lot of people see that and think it's for the best. And I see your calls coming in. I'll get to you guys. Hold on. It's for the best. Nobody wants to see a divorce. It probably shouldn't have ended up this way. They made bad decisions. And then you know, I think most people see this and they're quite nuanced. I'm so nuanced about this. Yes, everybody had their blame, and you know, it's a shame, but you know what? They went their separate ways. It's probably for the best. The kids are adults. Justify. It's just everyone's so nuanced. Everyone is so nuanced, and so that's kind of the vibe, right? They didn't want to live like that. You can understand it. What was I going to say about that? Right, it looks like that's normal. Like, this is the best course of action. Like she says, like 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 herself said, this was the best course of action for both of us. We still love each other, but this was just the best course of action. This was the only thing we could do. And you hear that about marriages falling apart and coming apart eventually. They arrive. This was the only option we had. We tried everything else. And the only option that was left was to separate. And this was the best. And now we're happier than ever. You hear that. I feel like you hear that a lot. But it's such a weird way of looking at marriage at all. Okay? I've described a number of times here on the complexity between two people, especially relationships, but really between anyone, and how that complexity doesn't really exist except only in your own mind. Okay? But let's say people can't get over that. They can't just drop it and the energy's off. You know, you just don't know. You just don't know that the mind is an evil place and that complexity is only in your mind. You can see how over time, over and over again, daily, the eroding effects of the thoughts and anger, the toll it has on a marriage, okay? You can kind of start seeing how that comes together, okay? And Bill de Blasio, and here's another side to that. Bill de Blasio said he revealed how he was worried this to be a ticking time bomb and how he held on to that for years, okay? He held on to this. He got with her. She was a lesbian, but they got married. And he held on to this. Is this a ticking time bomb? Is this going to go wrong one day? Is this going to blow up in my face one day? And you can imagine, what I'm trying to say here is, I want to describe a little thing I discovered that you might know. Some of you might know better than I, but a little thing I realized about, I guess, manhood and marriage and what it takes. Okay, because it's not big shows. It's not big bombastic shows of affection or I'm going to marry you and I'm going to die for you. It's not. It's the daily. It's the daily thing. And it's what you do on the daily and how you handle the thoughts and all the little things daily. And to allow and as a man, you have a sort of responsibility, okay? Which many don't rise to, but you still have it, no matter what. Too bad, so sad. Okay? You were born like this. Okay? You were given, this is a heritage given to you unto God, okay? You're born this way. And your responsibility, one of them is the daily vigilance of life, okay? Daily vigilance, okay? And this is expressed in so many ways, countless ways, okay? And can you guys think of any? But marriage is one of them. Because you have to imagine, you're already working on yourself daily, okay? And you need to be at the gate and watch the thoughts and watch what's your reactions to life daily. Should you do that, you're a light, okay? And this light pours out into the world, into your marriage, into your family. It goes outwards, okay? The opposite is the truth. The opposite is true as well. You daily you flounder at the daily challenges of life because they're usually really small to get you prepared for the big ones, right? And you can see how the vibe is off, the energy's off, and that constance and the up and down and coming back to that, the energy's off, could destroy a marriage. It's the daily thing, okay? The daily vigilance and being like an immovable object, okay? Because it's a surprise, okay? The daily vigilance is the really base stuff here, okay? You following me? And then it's in relation as well to his fear of the lesbian thing. That would never have been, here's the thing. People don't realize that we are self-fulfilling prophecies, okay? What we speak out into the world, what we think, what we obsess over in our minds becomes reality. Like I was saying the other day, we are still the leaders in a relationship, even if we're evil. We still have this incredible effect onto the world, even if you're not really a man. It could be in a very negative way, but you still have a great effect on the world, an impact as a man. So, in that same way, you can see someone either overcoming that. Okay, I'm never going to think about this lesbian thing ever again. Okay, I'm the boss. She stopped being a lesbian for me. Or you live that life of, you know what I'm saying? Oh, is this a ticking time bomb? Well, guess what? You just made it into one. And you notice, if you guys examine your life, you'll notice that you guys do that with a lot of stuff in life. Okay? What you play over in your mind, you will do, I promise you. Okay. But where was I? Charlene wants to be she wants to be a model for other couples amid separation. Okay? This is another reason why I got to talk about this, because this woman is saying she wants to be a model. Okay? She's saying she is still very much in love, and she maintained that she wishes to serve as a model for other doomed duos. Okay. And this brings me to what I wanted to say here. Another point here I wanted to say. Let me just make sure I said everything I wanted to say. Self-fulfilling prophecy. The energy being off, the being there daily, vigilance daily. Oh yeah, on the daily vigilance thing I was saying, that's an individual thing too. If you watch yourself daily, the rest will come. You will be paying attention to everything. Did that make sense? Okay, so anyways, she wants to be an example, okay? She wants to be a model for other relationships, other couples, doomed couples, okay? And this brings me to this other point, because you might say, well, despite all the bad things, I'm very nuanced, okay? I'm so nuanced that I'll say this is good. Despite it being like, it has negative things to the story between Charlene and de Blasio, at least they're handling it right, and da-da-da-da-da. But really, it's not at all, not even a little bit, okay? This is the fruits of listening to women, purely. This is what this is, okay? Men have been listening to women, okay? Men listen to women when they said, oh, the high divorce rate is because that's how it's always been for women. Women have always been in bad relationships, and they've been forced to be in these marriages. Now women have options. We listened to them when they said, love is love, okay? And it takes all different types of loves and different shapes and forms, okay? We listened to them when they said, oh, emotions are love, that we need to keep relationships spicy, and that relationships need excitement and spice. You got to spice it up. Let's go to a counselor. Let's spice things up. Or we listen to the women in every situation so far. We listen to all these justifications and imitations of love when we know there's something just messed up about this. Okay? This is the fruits of listening to women. That is what's going on here. Charlene McRae's, and I say this is coming from the woman. I say this is coming from the woman, okay? This is a little bit on just my opinion. I can't cite you or source you the source where Charlene McRae said, this was my idea and this is my philosophy. Fine. But this is the woman written all over it. This is the woman's mentality and mindset written all over it, okay? Because you got to imagine. Okay, hold on. Before I say that. Yeah, we've been just following the woman this whole time. Love is love. Oh. You need a marriage. For example, here's another one. Here's another thing we listen to women about. That a marriage and a relationship is about your personal fulfillment and your personal satisfaction, okay? Now, don't come to me like I'm some sort, like I haven't been married, okay? I don't know. I'm not saying I know all this stuff, but I just got to say, guys, I cannot agree. If you disagree, 888-775-3773. There's no way a marriage is about your personal satisfaction, because that's something that changes. That's such a fickle thing anyways. Your personal satisfaction, unless you're like a real man and you're only satisfied by true things. But our desire, but that's not really even your satisfaction. I'm talking about desire and the fickleness of desire. And just like de Blasio's relationship here, I don't know, just the energy felt off. That's what we listen to women about. That the energy and the feelings is the marriage. The energy and the feelings. That's not to say that there, like I already explained, okay, I don't need to go back, that there is something happening there. Why is the energy off? Well, because you haven't dealt with the complexity within your own mind. Should you do that, you might just lead her out of that as well. It'll definitely not be, at least it won't be two people confused about nothing. But also, where was I? We listened to the women about that the relationship is the good emotions and the vibes. And if the vibes are wrong, if the energy's off, then the marriage is off. If the energy's wrong, if the person's in a bad mood, then the marriage is wrong. Which is just a weird, what's it called? They've intertwined those two things. The marriage and your personal satisfaction. You follow me? Like they're intertwined somehow. If the mood's wrong, the marriage is wrong, which is just a horrible, an unholy matrimony that people have made in their own minds and identities, in my opinion, okay? And that's fine, okay, that happens. But can we at least have men trying to say, hey, babe, that's not it. Hey, honey, I know you're in a bad mood, but if we at least had men at least saying that, could you imagine the conversation might be a little bit different? At least they were saying, I know you're in a bad mood. I know it feels like the marriage is falling apart, but calm down. Yeah, so, and this brings me to a particular moment where de Blasio says, it's what de Blasio said started this whole conversation. It was when he asked his wife, his then wife, they say the marriage is essentially over. Why aren't you lovey-dovey anymore? Bill de Blasio asked her, why aren't you lovey-dovey anymore? And that's interesting for a number of reasons here. Because it really doesn't matter what she does at all. Okay, it starts and ends with you. Ooh, a little JLP there. But it really does. Because a lot of people, it seems like things have just gone really complicated. And I notice that people will watch, for example, they'll watch like dating shows or red pill content. They'll watch Andrew Tate or something like that, right? They'll they'll hear guys, pickup artists or whatever, and hear them talk about how to keep a woman or how to pick up a woman, how to attract a woman and stuff like that. And it becomes a little formulaic. And then I've seen some of these guys, they go out there. I've seen some of these guys go out there and they emulate these people. They talk and emulate, and they look like freaks. They look like total freaks, okay? I'm reminded of, I was in Florida. What was it for? Was it for Men's Forum or was it for, I think it was for an event. I was with Jesse. And I had met this like alpha red pill guy, dating pickup guy. And he was with other pickup guys, and they're all in the pickup community, da-da-da. But this one guy was just talking to him, honestly, just talking to him, and then I saw him in action at the club. Orlando clubs. So kitschy, very funny. But he was, it's clear that he had spoken to a lot of women, a lot of experience. It's just clear. It's very clear. And I've spoken about this guy before. He seemed, there was some energy about him. It was so weird because when he was showing me all the texts and saying, yeah, I got this girl. Yeah, I'm going to meet her shortly. And he was just chill. But then one night he couldn't get any of his girls he couldn't figure out a hookup. He had this girl, that girl. They all kind of ghosting him, and his whole demeanor changed. He was like he lost his God. His salvation was gone, and he became this golem figure, hunched over, like texting feverishly. I'll be right with you guys, ignoring our conversations. Yeah. I'm trying to get a girl, guy. It was wild. But he had the experience. I saw it. It was clear in the way he spoke to women. But then these guys around him, they were like emulating him, okay? And they said the same things and stuff and had some success with some women. I saw them get some numbers and stuff, which is an interesting too as well. These pickup guys, they go to woman after woman, and they like formula like it's a numbers game. Not saying it doesn't work, but it's interesting. And these guys emulating this guy, looking like a freak, chest puffed, just freaky. And those people get like some female attention, like I said, don't get me wrong. But here's my point here. Here's what I'm getting at, okay? The lovey-dovey statement from Bill de Blasio and all that. Imagine being the man asking that question, okay? You're with a woman, and you have all these feelings, and it's the back and forth, and these moments, and the vibes are right, and everything's nice. And then the years go by, and that's kind of up and down, and that changes, okay? And then one day you ask her this question, why aren't you lovey-dovey anymore? She's going to lose it. She's going to lose it. That's a panic button situation, okay? You're admitting that what you guys had, first of all, is between each other, you guys called love, that's gone. And worse, you have no idea how to get it back. Why wouldn't Shirlane McRae want to go have fun with other people? You know what I'm saying? And here's another thing on the lovey-dovey thing, relating it to the pickup guys I was talking about. In my opinion, guys, you have to be unapologetically you. Because you'll hear a lot of advice from these pickup guys, and it's effective, I bet, and I'm sure a lot of it is. It depends, really. Obviously, it depends. Everybody take everything as you hear it in that moment, one ear out the other, okay? You can't just try not to blanket statement like that. But in general, there's some effectiveness there. But here's one thing that I've noticed, that it really isn't what you do, okay? It's like the energy and the spirit you do it in. I mean it, guys. That's like, women operate like this. And it's not a bad thing, okay? Because think about it like this. Imagine if Bill de Blasio didn't care if she was lovey-dovey or not. But that's what he was, and he's like that. And you guys could be like, oh, beta, simp, whatever. That's not what I'm getting at. Imagine that's what he was like, and he didn't care, and he just was like that, and didn't need her to be that way, and he imposed himself. I know we shouldn't impose, right? We shouldn't impose, right? That's what you hear, right? That's probably true in most cases. But it's a little bit different sometimes between men and women, okay? You're the leader. I don't know how things got so complicated. The passive versus the dominant, the giver versus the receiver. It's quite simple. Imagine you didn't care if she was lovey-dovey. She might even find you annoying. But if she's decent, she won't leave, and she will love you for it. She will be annoyed, but she will love you for it because you're unapologetically you. Now, there's some things I wouldn't do. You know, all this PDA stuff. PDA, what's wrong with you? Public displays of affection. But you following me here? It's not about her. It's not about her at all. The bad mood, the weakness, her not being attracted or whatever. It starts and ends with you. Okay? It starts and ends with you. You can't blame her at all. So that's just a little interesting thing here about the lovey-dovey comment. Why aren't you lovey-dovey anymore? That's a panic situation. It's over. Anyways, and here's what I want to say this, and I'll get to calls. I'll get to your call there. It's became so complicated. We were having fun talking about the green line theory, okay? And some of you are on the fence. Some of you are, yeah, totally makes sense. Some of you want your sources and citations from experts before you go believing such a crazy theory like that. A green line test, really? And we were having fun wondering about the validity of such a test earlier in the show. But at the same time, here's what's actually kind of beautiful about the green line tests, if you will. There is a simplicity between men and women. I believe there is. I believe there is. Anybody disagree? Call. I believe there's supposed to be a simplicity. And this is what I mean. Take in the simplicity of two green lines and one line leans into the other. What does that feel like and signify? that one is supporting the other. Like, think about the simplicity of that. Before you go into, well, that doesn't make logical sense, Nick. This is just one photo of many, and you drew lines. Put that aside for a second and realize the simplicity of two lines and one leans into the other. Realize, for example, there's so many things about relationships in life that are like this, that are actually quite simple, but we give it a lot of words. Have you heard of what a midwit is? Do you know what a midwit is? A midwit is someone who's is somewhat intelligent. They have a higher than average IQ, but they're not really, really intelligent. It's like a pejorative, a midwit. They think they're intelligent, but they're not really intelligent. They're smart enough to think that they're intelligent, but not smart enough to really, really be intelligent. And this is one of my favorite memes. It's the midwit meme. It's the midwit. It's like I don't know. I guess I'll call it the midwit meme. I don't know if this is the actual name for it, but let me show you a little graph here. This is called a IQ test bell curve. Okay. This little graph, and I'm about to show you here. This graph, which is in the shape of a bell, it shows a population and the spread of how should I describe it? Let me pull it up first. Come on, transition. Come on, show me the money. Oh, I'm not showing you the right screen. Here's the screen. This is a bell curve, okay? And it's supposed to show the average IQ levels of a population. And most people are in the middle. That's why the curve is so high in the middle. Most people land in the middle, okay? And it's rarer to be either on the lower end of the spectrum, so you're, very low IQ, and it's also quite rare to be on the very high end of IQ. Most people are in the middle. And the midwit meme has to do a little bit with this. And the meme usually centers around a statement that's obviously true. And then you get the midwits in the middle adding all this big special words to confuse what we already knew. Like, for example, let me think of it. Like, an example would be like the short hair, long hair fight, which is, we all know short hair, men have short hair, women have long hair. We all know this. And the dumbest of the dumb will look at a picture of a woman and a man and be like, okay, men have long hair, men have short hair, women have long hair. Duh. But you get the midwits with all the words saying, well, no, hair length is just a societal construct, okay? It's up to the person and individual feeling and then how they were raised and societal construct and blah, blah, blah. And then you get the really, really high IQ people who look at long hair and short hair and they say, well, duh, men have short hair, women have long hair. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite memes. I think it's very, it's emblematic of how truth works in people. Okay, I've heard this before, that truth is simple. Truth is, the common man understands truth, and there's a simplicity between men and women. At least there should be. The passive versus the dominant, the leader versus the follower, the giver versus the receiver. I know it's like I might be speaking in tongues for some people. Okay, I may be speaking in tongues for some people when I say that, but it's still true. Man, stand straight. Woman, lean in. Man, stand straight. Woman, lean in. It's just true. Are you following me here? Oh, no, man. Oh, no, Nick. It's just guys, when they're with their girl, and girls are usually shorter on average, guys are just bending over so that they're both in the frame of the picture. Why not stand straight and let her get closer? Dang. Okay, anyways. Is it still up for debate? Is the green line test real or not? Just my thoughts here. Anything else? Do I have to say anything else? Okay, let me get to calls here. I also have some super chats. And let me just move my computer here so that we're not having ads playing out of nowhere. Okay, let me see. What else? That's it. We've gone far. We've handled this topic quite quite a lot. Okay, so let's move on. Lean gate. This is lean gate. Yeah, boys, check your green lines. Base Nation, man, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the Rumble rant there on Rumble. It's a party at Rumble, rumble.com/American Anchor, baby. Base Nation with the Rumble rant says, Jada looking like that Toy Story head spider. I remember that. The head spider. Who's that Sid made? Sid? You remember Sid from Toy Story? Sid just had issues, man. Sid was pretty cool, but you know, he got anger issues. Poor Sid. He needed to forgive his mama. And I also had a super chat. Hold on, guys. I'm bumbling around with my computer. I've been trying to tighten this up. And not leave so much dead air. I have a super chat here from Lin Yan Chin, I believe, back to back. Appreciate the support there. Lin Yan Chin says, not enough merengue in your soul, or maybe you need more sparkle. Where's Twinkle Toes Joel Friday? Just prance about while dashing sparkles on your blouse. He's invoking the name of the old sparkle blouse. The blouse that shall not be named. Thanks for the support, Lin Yan Chin. I should recite the Sparkle Creed so that I may empower my sparkle blouse, which I haven't worn in a while. I should wear it again on American Anchor, baby, because when I wear it on Nick's stream, it doesn't look like a sparkle blouse anymore. The illusion dies. Lin Yan Chin, back-to-back super chats there. Thank you, sir. Says, none but God can be unmoved, and thus our suffering. When you gonna get 5-0 a caller? I don't know what you mean, Lin Yan Chin. You confused me with that one. Birdie Bound Brian, thank you, sir. Super chat there says, finding a wife is finding a pilot light in gas stove filled with Satan's daughters. Let's talk. Lines open, man. And, of course, with the earlier there, I missed this one as well. Lin Yan Chin, again, your support. Appreciate it. Nick-san wa dokoda? What? He was blouse-snapped by the Anti-Sparkle Society. Someone call Superman. He was probably commenting on my tardiness there. I was being black. I was being black. And I started the show a little late. Lin Yan Chin, this is coming in hard, coming in strong with the super chats back to back. Another one just came in, says, midwit is an abstraction about the useful idiots or ideologues. Their IQ range is 120 to 135. 145 is bright, gifted, and 160 is genius. My IQ is 72, making me a useless idiot. Right on, Lin Yan Chin. The beauty about being a 72 IQ is that the truth is for the common man. Both the high and the low IQs arrive to the same conclusions. Be happy that you're not a midwits in the middle. Hope and pray that you're either a genius level intellect or a just worm level intellect. You'll be blessed for that. Okay? So thanks for the support there. And let me make sure I don't miss anything else here. I'm going to get to a call here. I got Mark, California. You're on the air.
Hello, Nick.
What's up, Mark? You're on the air. Thanks.
Oh, okay. Thanks for taking the call. Yeah, I was listening to your show and talking about the Blasio, and I guess it's his ex-wife. I just
something
want
like
to point
that
out because you never mentioned it, but the fact that it's an interracial marriage is a sin from the beginning. So any evil that comes after that is to be expected. You have to remember that until 1967, interracial marriage in most states was illegal.
Really?
Not in there were states that allowed it, like California, maybe New York, but mostly the southern states had it in their constitutions to stop interracial marriage. And then the communist Supreme Court at the time, and it was the Earl Warren Court.
So
they were communists.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
They prohibited states from disallowing Mongolization of our race.
Wait, what'd you just say? What was that word?
The southern states.
Mongol what?
Mongolization.
What does that mean?
That means when the
I might be one of
when
those.
black-
Maybe that's why I don't understand.
Are you part Negro?
Oh, wait, what does that word mean? Explain to me.
Miscegenation. It's the race mixing between black
well,
and white.
I guess you could call me you could call me a product of race mix. I mean, I don't know. Some
Are you black?
No, I'm not. I'm not. Well, my ancestry says I'm 3% black.
Oh, okay.
And some say I'm the blackest one here at Bond. I don't know if you knew that. They say I'm the blackest one.
No,
here.
I didn't. You don't
that's
look
for
black,
different
but
reasons.
whatever.
That's for different
Sure.
reasons. That's not for racial reasons, but yeah, I mean, for example, some might call me mixed, right? I might be Cuban, Colombian. Maybe I don't know.
Okay. Well, the point is,
okay. So sorry. Back to what you were saying. You're telling me it was illegal up till 1967 in most states.
Yes.
And you're saying it was for the reason. It was for the express reason to stop the somethingization of the white race.
Yes, the marginalization, because every country that's allowed the races to mix have been destroyed. Their civilizations have been destroyed. Haiti's a perfect example. But there's many others, and the white Southerners knew that when they wrote that into their state constitutions. So, of course, that's all been banned. In fact, there was a movie made about that court decision in '67. Excuse me. It was taken in Virginia.
That is
the state of.
Gone.
Pardon?
The state of what?
No, the state of Virginia was at one time a proud state.
Yes.
And they disallowed for that. But I can't think of the actor's name. He was Timothy Hutton was in the movie. And they, Hollywood promoted this evil, and it was a rendition of what had happened in '67.
That's so interesting. I had no idea about that. I mean, I may have heard something about that, but I've never heard it put in those words where it was all the way up till 1967. It really shows the difference in mentality back then, and it's something I have to say I have to even respect, because there's something you have to respect about wanting to maintain your people and progeny, because of you have to imagine what it took to get your people where they are now. I say your people in the way that, in the sense that you are a race, you are a part of a line, a succession of people, right? And in that sense, those are your people. You could say that in that sense, and it's almost a shame to see the way that's so easily thrown away with the modern world. And it seems to be that it's usually through, and it's usually it doesn't seem to be happening out of like a just natural thing. It seems to be two avenues that are pushing it mostly, and it's a lustful kind of degeneracy to it, or it's a I'm not racist, I don't want to be racist attitude. And it's a shame to see a guilt trip. Thank you. And it just seems like it is a shame. So I have to say I respect that. I really do respect that sincerely. It's a difference in mentality that you just don't see. It's totally seen as like out. It's offensive. It's like out there offensive stuff to say when we look at nations and stuff. And I was listening to the Hake Report, and they were talking about French people and how the French Constitution says that now the current one says that to be French, you just have to be a French citizen, right? And the question was brought up. The question was brought up. Well, were there French people before that Constitution was written? And I personally would have to say yes. There was a French nation of French people. So it is a shame to see that changing attitude. So interesting. I didn't know that, Mark. Thank you.
Sure. Now,
can I ask you a question about that? Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Kind of like it's kind of a side note, but it has to do with Bill de Blasio and what we're talking about here. What would you say is worse? What would you say is worse? Were you listening to my commentary on de Blasio and leaning in and all that?
About half of it, yeah.
And leaning in and what signify and the order, how a man should. Okay.
Yes.
What's more evil? An interracial marriage or a weak man?
Man, that's a heck of a question. I guess it would be the interracial marriage because it destroys a race. A weak man has got to get over it. He's got to figure out what he needs to do. And, it's by being a weak man, that's not going to affect me personally or society as a whole. But race mixing will, and it is, and it's destroying our race and our nation. And if you look at France today, and you look at France 100 years ago, oh man, it's scary, because in 100 years from now, if current trends continue, France will be an Islamic republic.
Yeah.
Probably the whites will be genocided. I hope not. But it seems that's the direction they're going if current trends continue. And furthermore, in the United States, we're headed in that direction as well. I would recommend to you that you study Senator Theodore G. Bilbo of Mississippi. He was the greatest senator in the history of this country. Theodore G. Bilbo. He was the greatest senator in the history of the Senate. And he predicted all this would happen, everything that's coming to, that's happening right now in the U.S. He predicted it would happen if they went the way of the liberals. And he died in like 1947. I mean, he's been dead a long time. And his name has been banished from any plaque, any statue, any remembrance of him has been washed away in the once proud state of Mississippi. But Bilbo was he made George Wallace look like a liberal.
I might have to do a little White History Month studying there. Thanks, Mark. And you know what? You got to say, I'll let you say that, but hold on. What was I going to say? Just responding to a couple of things you said. I kind of thought what you were saying a little bit, but hearing you say it as interesting, there is a weakness to not honoring your line of succession, and we're seeing the fruits of that, like you described, France and the Islamization or whatever of France. You could even say there are the same thing. Being a strong man would be to not mix and keep things pure or whatever. So I can understand that. I guess I was coming at it also from like people come together for the wrong reasons anyways, and so you can overcome that. Meanwhile, your race and stuff is not something you choose or control. So, and it's not something you should overcome or anything unless you identify with it. So that's kind of what I was looking at it from that angle, because you can overcome coming together in the wrong way. And so in my opinion, we're seeing destruction of the family, the enmity between men and women, all that wouldn't matter whether the races were the same or not. Yet, even if the races were different, you can still overcome that and lead her out of her hell. So that's kind of where I was coming at it from. But you know what? That's also an interesting thing you say. There is a strength, in my opinion, in keeping your, the line of succession that you came from. There's so
racial purity.
But also another thing, what I want to comment on quick before you moved on to your last thing here. Was it Bilbo? I forgot. Go on. You were saying
Theodore G. Bilbo. Theodore G. Bilbo, Mississippi senator. But if I could interject for a second and say that the white race represents thousands of years of evolution. Okay, the colored race has only been out of the jungle for about 400 years. So for us to say we're all equal is really ridiculous. But that's how they want to play it, and we're going to suffer for it.
Did you see?
I think it's too late to turn back.
Do you watch the Jesse Lee Peterson show?
Yeah, I do.
Did you happen to catch yesterday's show where he had a guest?
No, I missed him yesterday, unfortunately.
He had a guest named Sneeko on, and Sneeko is, I don't know, I think you could say one as mixed as you could get. He's like Haitian, Dutch, Filipino, and so that's who he is. If you don't know, what would someone like him do? Should he find a Dutch, Filipino, Haitian person, someone just as
well? The coloreds, if they intermix, that's not going to affect the white race. So if they intermix, my suggestion to him would be to find somebody, another colored woman or a colored person to marry. That I wouldn't advise that he marry white. But we're going down as a race.
But wait, okay, I see what you're
problem.
saying. You're saying you don't care because it wouldn't affect the white race. But let's say he came up to you and asked you advice. Let's say 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍� came up to you and asked you some advice. Hey, I get you don't want me mixing with white people. Well, I said Dutch, so he will be mixing with a white person, possibly. What would you say to him? He's asking you advice. Hey, I see what you're saying about racial purity, Mark. What do? I was born the way I am. I'm Haitian, Filipino, Dutch, and this and that. Who should I marry? What do you tell that guy, 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔?
Any colored person that wants him.
Really?
Any
Anybody?
colored woman that would want him.
So any mixture, but what happened to racial purity?
No, because he's already marked. He's already, got the dark seed in him.
Does there exist a racial purity for other races?
Well, yeah, just do an ancestry.
Well, how come they're a dark seed that mars? How come they're a dark seed that mars race when we're talking about them? But when we're talking about white people, you got to keep it racially pure and don't intermarry, and we're thousands of years of evolution and all that. But when we talk about 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 or whatever, he's already marred. What happened to? You see what I'm asking? Or maybe I'm not understanding.
Well, no. Once the white race is diluted down and mixed with all these other colored races that are currently pouring into the country, it will dilute the white racial strength. It will.
So did everybody come from white people? I'm trying to understand you here. So there was only white people at one time, and then it.
No.
Okay. So then, how did 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 come about? How did a guy like 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 come about? Where's his?
Well, because in the 21st, I don't know how old this guy is.
He's
but
24.
At the end of the 20th. Okay, 24. So he's basically a product of the 21st century. It's over, okay? After the 60s in this country, the white race lost its power. And now mixing is on, and we're going down fast. Once we're diluted down, we cannot come back. Look at Haiti. Just
that's not true. You should listen to this. The Spaniards disagree with you.
What do you mean? How? In what way?
Spaniards.
They came to Mexico.
They mixed, right? The Spaniards, and they created the castizos and the mestizos and stuff. That's according to the Spaniards. You know about this?
Yeah, of course.
Well, in their racial, I don't know, theory here or whatever, they believe that if you mixed with like an indigenous person of the South Americas or whatever, you would create I think a castizo, okay? And then should that baby then mix again, it would be a mestizo. But the same way they were able to mix down one direction, you can go back the other direction. If that castizo baby marries a Spaniard, if a mestizo person has a baby with a Spaniard, it goes backwards to a castizo. And if that person has a baby with another Spaniard, the baby is full Spaniard, at least according to the Spaniards. A full Espanol.
Well, I don't know.
What do you think about that?
Mm-hmm. I think that if you compare the country of Spain,
you can save them and bring them back. No, I'm joking.
No. If you compare Spain with Mexico, who is the superior country? It's Spain. When they came to Mexico, they didn't. The Spanish people. This is important. They didn't bring their women, and because they didn't bring their Spanish women with them, they mongrelized with the Aztecs or the Indians, and you have Mexico today, which wouldn't exist without the United States. I just read, if it wasn't for U.S. trade with Mexico, the whole country of Mexico would basically collapse. They're dependent on us, on the U.S. to survive. So the Cortez people, Cortez and the Spaniards, their mistake was mixing. When the Pilgrims came to the U.S., they came with their women. And that's why the United States was a beautiful country up until the 60s when all of our laws got thrown out, good laws, and the whole attitude of people changed. I'm old enough to remember.
This is fascinating, Mark. Thanks. There's interesting stuff here. Interesting stuff to think about.
If you're interested.
But what was I going to say? I got you about
I know
Bilbo.
You got to. Yeah, okay. Well, listen to Bilbo, and if you get a chance, I would highly recommend.
Is this a movie or book? Don't just send it to me.
Pardon me?
Just send it to me. radio@JesseLeePeterson.com. I'd be happy to look at it.
Oh, well, if I could, I was just going to say, just study the works of Lincoln Rockwell.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I got you.
And he'll, there's all.
My bad.
Yeah, there's all kinds of videos on him, his debates, his interviews, and his speeches.
Thank you, Mark. I might have to do a little education. But did you ever answer my question about who should Sneako marry? Someone as mixed as he?
Yeah, the answer I gave you was that he should marry a race mixed woman. Or non-white.
But how race mixed? That was my question. Like, should he worry about the ratio there because he's Filipino, Dutch, Haitian? Should he get someone who's also the same racial ratio as him?
That might be a pretty hard.
But I'm trying to understand your logic. So
my logic is,
so if you're saying,
if he's already colored, he should marry another colored. As long as he doesn't marry a white woman,
but there's a lot of colors, is what
I'm
I'm saying. What colors?
Well, any color but white.
That's what that's the part that I don't understand because you're saying because he's already mixed, he should just marry a mixed person, right? But he's not just mixed. Yeah. He's mixed in a particular way. Okay? Haitian, Filipino, da-da-da. So if I'm supposed to follow your logic of this racial purity, then shouldn't he maintain the purity of his mixture, if that makes any sense?
No, because he's not pure. He's, like you said, mixed. So he should marry either a solid colored person, like a black, or another mixed person, but not a white.
Why not a white?
Well, that'll destroy the gene of the white race.
Wouldn't that destroy the black genes if he married a black person?
No. Well, I guess it would in a sense.
What's the difference between the two? Help me understand.
Well, Louis Farrakhan of the Muslims prohibits race mixing because he wants to keep the black race black. Now, I'm not a follower of his, but I could understand where he's coming from. He's the reverse side of me. I want to keep the white race white, and he wants to keep the black race black, and I have no problem with that. It's the mixers that are going to destroy my race and nation. And the book is Mongolarization or Segregation? Pick your choice. That was the book Bilbo wrote.
What should someone who's
to America?
Gotcha, man. Thanks.
Pardon?
And I just want to move along a little quicker here. What should someone like? Okay, sorry, I'll be quick here. I don't want to harp on it too much, but I have to ask: how is that different? How is this Sneako person we're talking about? You said don't marry a white person because you'll be diluting and mixing and ruining that bloodline. But at the same time, you say it's not exactly the same if he were to mix with any. Isn't following your logic mean that that Sneako shouldn't have babies with anybody who's one solid color?
Oh no! I'm not. I don't mean that at all.
So it's fine. Any colors, he can dilute any other color except the whites.
Sure, absolutely.
That's what you're really saying. Okay, now we've arrived to.
Absolutely.
Hey, you don't got to lie to kick it. You could be honest with me, Mark. You don't got to lie to kick it.
I am. You're about the only person that takes my calls. So
you don't
got to
lie to kick it. You're saying that it's only diluting if he does it to the other races. But you know what? I don't even disagree with you, Mark. This has been an interesting conversation. One last question for you. Sean. I don't know if you know Sean, Jesse Lee Peterson's new producer. Says
the man that answered the phone?
Correct. He says he's Irish, English, and German. Who should he marry?
A white lady.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, man. No, I'm joking.
3 white ethnic groups. I'm telling you, Nick, you go to any third world country, except maybe Japan. I'm not even sure about that. Mm-hmm. And see how they treat you. Try living in Uganda for a year.
Yeah, no, it's true what you're saying.
Even in South Africa.
It's true what you're saying. People would rather be... Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be with your own. Who said that? Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be with the bluebirds with the bluebirds, the red with the red. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be with your own. But you know, I think... Sorry?
I was going to say Muhammad Ali was good on the race issue. I had no problem with Muhammad Ali. He was good on the race issue. He was.
But following your logic, Sean is as mixed as not as mixed as I. Let's be real. I'm a mutt. Sean he a white man, but he should marry a mixed person. He should mix if he should follow your logic, right?
No. How do you figure that? I said if he's those ethnic groups that you described, he is a white man.
Okay, so you're saying Irish is white. You heard it here first, folks. Mark says Irish is in fact white. That has been laid to rest. I don't know if you know the controversy. Some say Irish is not white. But you heard it here first, folks. Controversy.
What are they?
Laid to rest.
Please tell me, what are they? If they're not white, what race are they?
They are the Mexican of the whites. What do you think about that statement?
No, because their bloodline is white. Read the book, The Dispossessed Majority. Nick, please.
Send that to me, man. I can't. Send it to me. Okay, you already said it. Dispossessed Majority, man. Mark, I appreciate your call, sir. Call me again, man.
I will. Thank you, Nick. God bless.
Take care. Moving the wheels. Come on, you guys find that somewhat fascinating, right? There's interesting points there. This is an interesting conversation. Get the ball rolling. Get the conversation going. I see your minds. I see the gears turning in your minds all the way from here. I'm stealing that from Jesse when he's in church and he asks a good question or the conversation's good. I can see your minds. I can see your minds wondering now. So appreciate your call there, Mark. I can see you guys wondering now. It gets it going, okay? It's an interesting topic. You know who else should check their green lines? You know who else has got to check their green lines? Somebody check Keke Palmer. We need a green line check on Keke Palmer, okay? We need a green line Gestapo, okay? Ooh, this is what I propose. We need a green line Gestapo. We need a state-sponsored police force that will be checking green lines periodically. And if they come to your home and they don't see those green lines in check, I don't know what they're going to do. But we need a green line Gestapo to go and deal with some of these things here. Keke Palmer, American actress, Keke Palmer. Was she in Up? What was she in that I saw recently? Was she in that movie Up? Keke Palmer. No, she wasn't. Oh, no, Nope. I'm thinking of the movie Nope. Not Up. Up is like the balloon animation, right? Like the little animated Disney movie or whatever. Some consider me white. Yeah, that's true. You hear that in the intro to my show. What a mess. What a confusing mess. Maybe we should just focus on the heart. But we can still talk about race. It's fun. And there's truth there as well. There's plenty of things that are true. What was I? Keke Palmer. She was a Nope. Keke Palmer, American actress. Keke Palmer is in the news. And someone should be doing the green line check. Because she is, if you don't know about her, she's in the news because of a moment that went kind of viral online. There's a bit of a spat between, some are calling a bit of a rift between her and her man, Darius Dalton? Is it Darius Dalton, Keke Palmer? Darius Dalton and Keke Palmer. Complex calls this Darius Jackson, a boyfriend. But anyways. So Keke Palmer's boyfriend, Darius Jackson or whatever, they're in the news because of a moment where she went to a concert. Don't let her go. Don't let your woman go to concerts, especially not Beyonce's Lemonade or anything like that. Okay, fellas. Why would she want to go anyways without you? Sorry, I'm not saying anything. Keke Palmer shared photo. Okay, Keke Palmer was at a concert. Okay, she went to go see Usher. We all know Usher, right? Did he do Icebox? Who did Icebox? Icebox, where my heart used to be. No, that's not. This is like school dance music for me. MTV's school dance music. Growing up at school dances. That's what this kind of music is for me. Usher and that kind of stuff. So she went to a concert. And she was singled out in the crowd by this Usher. Lauren Kayana Keke Palmer, who is 29. Wow, she's 29. She's my age. I mean, she might be a year older. I might be 28 or 20. I'm 29. She is, like I said, she went to this concert, and she's dating this Darius guy, whom they share a child. They have a child together. Let me just make sure I have the correct info. And so she's at this concert. I'm going to play you the moment at the concert here. The controversial moment. What would you guys do? What would you guys do if this was your girl? What would you do if this was your girl at an Usher concert? Okay? Let's play that beautiful footage. There goes my what? There goes my what? Hey, kill me. Uh-oh. Hey, kill me. There goes my what? Hey, kill me. Hey, kill me. Hey, kill me, paisa. ¿Qué me estás diciendo? What are you saying to me? There goes my what? Hey, kill me, partner. There goes my what? There goes my lady. There goes my lady. We got some Usher action going on. The ladies are melting. But this lady has a child with this man, Darius Jackson. And and some of you guys don't agree with her actions here. What? She's just dancing. What? It's just a dance, guys. What are you, insecure? It's just a dance. Don't be so insecure. Well, what made this story go viral is Darius Jackson's commentary on this, okay? Because he criticized her outfit, which is a big no-no. You're not allowed to tell a woman what to wear, especially a boss like Keke. You're not allowed to do that, okay? Don't you know it's 2023? Keke Palmer's boyfriend receives backlash for criticizing her concert outfit. On Wednesday, Keke Palmer's boyfriend, Darius Jackson, sparked controversy by criticizing what she, a grown woman, that's what Entertainment Magazine wrote. This is how they wrote it. A controversy by criticizing what she, a grown woman, decided to wear. A clip circulating social media sees Usher serenading the Nope actress who plays into the performance, sings along, and dances. Palmer is dressed to the nines for the concert at Usher's Las Vegas residency in a black bodysuit and sheer dress. The clip eventually reached Jackson Palmer's boyfriend and the father of her child, who commented on Twitter, seemingly shaming Palmer for the outfit. Jackson quote tweeted the video with the caption, "It's the outfit though, you a mom." Anybody agree or disagree? He retweeted the video and said, excuse me, trying to remind her, you're a mom. Excuse me, Keke. You a mom. Last I heard, you a mom. And so he's going viral for that. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to tell a grown woman what she can do, what she can wear. You know what else you can't tell? You know what you can't? Here's one thing I'll say before I go hard into the women and go and get Keke. Guys, you can't tell your girlfriend anything. Now you could try, and if maybe she's a decent woman, and maybe you've already made it clear that you only want to marry someone who obeys, and maybe your girlfriend emulates that a little bit. Not saying you guys should act like you're married and all that. These are just dating. But but fellas, yeah, you tell your wife what to do. You tell your wife what she could wear. This is your girlfriend or your baby mama. Okay, that's already an out of order situation. Okay, I understand things happen, but that doesn't change the reality. Okay, north is still north, red is still red, and a unmarried people with a baby is still not a family. and there's no order there. Okay? Are you LARPing, my friend? I know, Darius, you want me to be all like, I get it, Darius. You want me to go alpha, red pill, MGTOW on your side? Hey, slut, you should listen to your man. And she probably would do well to do so. It's not becoming of a mother to be out there looking like that. She would be blessed should she listen to sensible advice like that. But sorry, buddy, I can't just go all the way behind you there, man. That's your girlfriend. That's what they're literally describing her in the news here. That's how I even know this. I'm reading this, and they're calling her your girlfriend. You should be embarrassed. Now, again, I don't really know. I don't know the situation. Maybe he shouldn't marry her. Maybe she's crazy. Maybe she's crazy, and we're seeing the fruits of that. So, hey, man, I just wish you well, man. But right on for telling her what to wear. Because it was a little revealing. Don't we all agree? I was seeing major cheeks there. Oh, sorry about that, caller. Sorry I didn't get to you. I was seeing some major cheek action, y'all. On a Thursday, double cheeked up. I'm sorry, it's too much. On a Thursday lunchtime, it's basically just an hour or two after lunch. That's too much cheek. Too much cheek, Keke. Keke Palmer, this is according to the Daily Loud. Keke Palmer shares photos of herself at the Usher concert after her boyfriend publicly shamed her for her outfit choices. Check this out. She's doubling down. Here's the complexity between men and women. The fight begins, the enmity. And it's on display. It's really sad. She posts this picture. She's being a girl boss about it. She posts this like, look at me. I'm going to do it anyways. And that's her outfit. What do you guys think? Revealing? Too revealing? I think so. Especially if you're going to be all up over Usher like that. Hello? Did you forget something? Oh, Nick, it's just a dance. Excuse me. It's like Charlene McRae going on camera over and over again saying, yeah, I used to be a lesbian. Excuse me. Excuse me. Aren't you? Oh, don't be so insecure, Nick. No, you're not allowed to embarrass me. No, or try to embarrass me, even though I won't internally feel embarrassed because I'm a man. But you're not allowed to go and act like that because I'm the man and I'm telling you what to do. Okay? You're not allowed to do that. You can't just go in and try and make a fool of me. Oh, Keke Palmer, this is a similar thing, right? So it's a way of making a fool of a man. You can't tell me what to do. They should have, I don't know, should have just kept it between them. I believe this is a tweet from Darius who says, we live in a generation. Oh, I can't confirm if this is her boyfriend, so I'm going to move on. Where was I? And then, so she's doubled down on her thing there. And this boyfriend, Darius Jackson, apparently doubles down on criticism, saying she's a mother. It's the outfit. You're a mother. Am I wrong here? Anybody disagree? I mean, come on. He says, we live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. Whoa, Darius Jackson, is that a JLP listener? Can we say, are we getting a little based? Am I stretching? A little bit of a stretch? No, I think we could say Darius Jackson is a Jesse Lee Peterson enjoyer. He says, he finishes his tweet with, I rest my case. I'm taking that and running. That's a JLP fan, in my opinion.
Absolutely badasses. Let's pack them in. Get on there.
So, can we get a green line check? Should we do a green line check quick before I get to calls here? Should we do a little quick green line check here? Keke Palmer, Darius, and Keke Palmer, Darius Jackson. It's impossible. This is such a silly theory, right, guys? This is so silly. Like as if this theory would ever have any validity. As if, if I went to Google Images and just started from the top and just started going from the top and just went through the images of various images of Darius Jackson and Keke Palmer, as if we're going to just find a bunch of leaning in. This is a ridiculous theory, right, guys? Okay, no, not that one. That one doesn't count. That picture doesn't count. No. Let's go to the next one. Okay. That one doesn't count either. That one doesn't count. She looks like she might be leaning away here. Guys, ignore that one too. Ignore that one. That one doesn't count either. That one does not count. He may be leaning in, but doesn't she look like she's leaning in a little bit too? Well, his head is leaning in more. Oh, see? She's leaning in here. All right, not that one. Okay, not that one. All right, let's move on. This is a ridiculous theory. This is not real. Let's move on because we're not going to peddle baseless conspiracy theories. Okay? We're not going to peddle baseless conspiracy theories, guys. Go on. Oh, geez. You guys are a bunch of conspiracy theorists. I have Aaron out of Utah. You're on the air. Appreciate your call.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Just fine, Aaron. Thanks for your call. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I want to talk about was, that style of dancing, or kind of like what she was doing.
You talking about Keke Palmer with Usher?
Well, yeah, and like girls do that kind of stuff in the modern day here, thinking that they can kind of just write it off as in like, oh, I'm just dancing. It's just dancing, and I think you're around the same age I am. And I remember when I was like younger. I remember at like my senior prom. I remember my date. For a second, she had danced with someone else, and you're familiar with how dancing is nowadays. It pretty much is just the woman just backing it up on the man,
Absolutely.
And, a lot of them are still trying to act like, oh, it's just dancing. It's just dancing. You can't get mad. And I remember when I was younger, I was tested numerous times by this. And, looking at it now, I should have just looked at it as, kind of how a man should view it. Like that's cheating in my opinion. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'm petty like that. You can't look at another man. You can't dance with another man. What the heck?
Well, I'm not gonna say all that, but I mean, like her backing that up.
No.
On it,
No. You're looking at me. And that's no. But let's be serious here for a second. On what you're saying, dancing and how it's like, for example, dancing with another man, and it's just dancing. For example, that phrase, it only is seen that way, and I bet you a lot of people feel this way. Despite somewhere deep down something telling them something's off, most people think, yeah, dancing is just dancing, okay? But it's only that way because men, allow that, okay? But another flip side to what you're saying, the whole testing thing, you better believe that women do this kind of testing, okay?
Oh, that's Manosphere 101.
And you can't, as a guy, get offended or feel anything about it, okay? It's pretty much normal. So don't get offended by it because it's almost a natural thing. They're gonna do that even if they're godly women or they forgave or whatever. There is some of that going on. And if you're paying attention, you'll notice it. So definitely don't get mad about a test. But yes, there's an unsaid thing happening with dancing and touching. And I don't think a decent woman would want to do that with another man.
Right, and it is strictly a uniquely American thing because I remember, this was almost 10 years ago now, but I remember when I first visited Germany, in Munich there, I remember me and my brother went out to the club, and it's they're playing all the American, music, all the rap and stuff in the clubs, and I was used to the way that we do it here, when you hit the club, you find a fine shorty and get up on it, and the way that they were dancing over there, they were dancing kind of how we did in the 70s and stuff, kind of weird. I thought it was kind of strange. But since they were playing that style of music, I felt right at home. And this one Fraulein that I was trying to snag, I got up on it like that. And I could tell she was creeped out. You know, she's like, what in the hell is this guy doing? You know, and so it strictly is just an American thing.
Oh, yeah, just like going
dirty like that.
And it's also, honestly, I think it's a super modern, you know, millennial and younger thing. Because two things I want to say about what you're saying. Even in the club situation, you know, I dance with like someone else's woman and it's not good. You know, like tensions. So everyone knows this. There's an unspoken thing. I'm not saying you should be offended. Don't be offended. And don't go around trying to make your woman not dance with you, not dance with other men, because, you know, that's like you're trying to control something you already don't have control over. But it's like we all know this. It's this unspoken thing. I've danced with another man's girl at a club. It's not sweet. It's not nice. And another thing too, what I was saying, a millennial and younger thing, I've never understood, like, I've always found it a little weird, this whole like club scene, and then you just kind of like, okay, so you're in the club and it's dark and the music's going and you're there and you're dancing and you got a drink or whatever, and you're supposed to do this weird like half dancing, half walking thing, like you're like, hey girl, are we gonna dance together? Are we not? Hey, am I gonna put it up on, like you said? And it's this weird, it's so weird. And girls, they either huddle together and they'll be creeped out, like, ew, look at that creep. Or they're drunk or they're sluts and they'll dance with you. It's really weird dating dance. I personally never understood it. I got to talk to someone. I could take a girl to dance. We're talking. I'm just saying my talk game is better is all I'm saying. Okay? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's weird. It's like, oh, I got a drink. Oh, hey, are we dancing? Are we not dancing? Oh, are you creeped out? Oh, let me move back. Let me move forward. It's just a weird thing.
And the chicks just go there. They just go there for the ego boost anyway. Half the time. It's the same reason that the majority of them get.
No. I need to talk to them because I need to manipulate. You know? No, I need to be able to talk to them because I need to get in their mind and manipulate them and and get in there. I need to get in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's interesting though because if you look at our almost any culture, you know, as a whole, like dating back, dancing's always been kind of like a big part of it. And so, you know, let's say. Of course, they dance kind of dirty and stuff now, but, you know, it's almost difficult to say, I think, that, oh, you know, you can't dance with anyone else because in our culture, because you're familiar with, like, the older movies, like the older movies where someone would butt in and say, may I have this down?
I've heard stuff like that. Okay, go on.
And the way that they did it back in the day was if you were actually dancing, they weren't dancing dirty back then. They were doing, you know,
right.
Like hold their hand and do whatever. But, like, back then,
it was a lot more wholesome.
Yeah, and back then you could be dancing with your chick, and it was perfectly socially acceptable for another dude to come and say,
"Really?
What was the term? I think
I've seen that too. I'm not incredulous like that because I've seen that in movies and stuff. But that's are you saying there used to be a time when dancing was really just dancing?
Yeah, and then
wow. Because I only know dancing as simulated, you know, sex.
Well, no, I mean, the father and daughter dance at a wedding.
Of course. I said that recently, too. I don't know if that makes sense for my woman to be dancing with another man unless it's her father. But you're saying it used to be normal even for, you know, another man that wasn't necessarily her father to ask for a dance. Are you saying that at time it used to be just dancing?
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
You weren't, like you said, now it's just simulated. I mean, you really are halfway there. I mean, she's really just throwing it back. And, you know.
Huh.
But,
at my school dance, we had a teacher going around saying, hey, leave some room for the Holy Spirit.
Well, I got to ask.
Hey, leave a little, you two, leave a little room for the Holy Spirit. We had that. I went to a Catholic school.
Oh, wow, okay.
What were you
my school was like 50-50, like black and white. So at that point, I mean, anything went, you know.
Oh, true.
So they turn on that Lil Wayne song. You know what's good. I want to know more information about you. How old are you? I want to know if we're similar.
I believe I'm 29.
Oh, you're only 20. Okay, you're considerably younger than I think. You were saying that your generation, because I mean, I got like 10 years on you almost.
Yeah. What was I saying earlier? I said my generation. I think I said millennials and younger. Because I'm like I think you could call me a millennial, maybe a zillennial. I'm on the cusp.
Yeah.
94. I believe they say 96 is the cutoff or something like that between millennial, Zoomer. But you know, I have a slightly more millennial tendencies in my opinion.
Okay, and I was dying to ask you as well, your show, the title, you actually are literally an anchor baby?
I am literally an anchor baby. Bona fide, border hopping beanie. Come down from, my lineage comes from a bona fide border hopping beaner. And I am, in fact, an American anchor baby.
Oh, okay. Because you just look like really. I am familiar. I've ventured into Mexico numerous times. I'm familiar with Tijuana's elites. They look pretty fair skinned, and that's kind of what you reminded me of. You look like pretty heavy Spaniard. You're not the typical 4 foot tall one that's showing.
No, I'm not a Mexican either. I'm a Colombian. You know, my family's Colombian. My father was apparently Cuban, may have been Dominican. So I have some mixture going on there. But then also, my mother's name is Cortez, and I have this like whiter look. So I have like some people say they consider me white. They see me as a Spaniard. But my family is Colombian and Cuban. It's like, what the heck? Yeah, I see myself as a conquistador. That's how I see myself.
Yeah.
I basically see myself as a conquistador, and my woman needs to be of the conquered kind. You know what I mean? The ones they came here to conquer.
Yeah, I got you. It doesn't matter that much. I mean, you associate with JLP, so you already know you're like 1 inch away from honorary status anyway.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
I'm just pumped. Anyway, man,
we had fun here.
Man.
Thanks for your call, Aaron, man. Call me again.
It's easy, bud.
Take care. So, what else shall we do next? Because we've pretty much had a show, guys. I have more topics. I have plenty of show. I for once have plenty of show. Did we do a green line check? We did do a green line check. I have some super chats, I believe. Let me see what's going on here. What do we got here? Street Chronicles with the super chat says, I missed your thoughts on 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 going on the Breakfast Club and crushing their comment section. I don't know what you're talking about. If that's a tip, I appreciate it. I might have to do a little homework. We might talk about it tomorrow, maybe. You're saying 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 was on the Breakfast Club. Might be nice, might be spicy. Gonna have to check it out. Thanks for the tip there. Mari Ubaldo with the super chat says, Hola, Nick. You're amazing. Thank you for that, Mari. Hope you're well. Hope you're all well. Everything, health, and life. Thank you for that. Super chat from Lin Yan Chin says, German anthropologists invented the name Mongolian race in the 18th century. Later, the name changed to Mongoloid. This means looking like a Mongol. A Mongoloid. A Mongoloid, I'm a Mongoloid. What is that song? Who does that song? Mongoloid, I'm a Mongoloid. David C. with the super chat says, leaning in is almost as beta as watching anime and cartoons. Now you know you beta. All right. Calm down. Calm down, David. That might be true. There might be something odd about an adult sitting down watching cartoons. But SpongeBob is the greatest of all cartoons. All cartoons are so far, on the shoulders of SpongeBob, as well as Dragon Ball Z. So I'm not going to have you talking bad about Dragon Ball, which is actually a very deep show. People don't agree. People don't agree, but yeah. Nick triggered. Yeah, Nick triggered. SpongeBob is garbage. Okay, maybe you disagree, but Dragon Ball is a very deep show. Dragon Ball is the story of a Christian. Did you know that? Dragon Ball is the story of a true Christian. Whoa. Get at me. I will be debating that on Modern Day Debate. Goku a true Christian? No, okay, I'm just joking about that. Okay, any other super chats? That's all the super chats. I'm going to leave these topics for tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, we'll leave them for tomorrow. Where should we fly to? Tomorrow's Friday. We're going to take a flight. Don't miss it. 4 o'clock, we'll be taking a flight. I'm not sure yet where. We'll see. I'll take suggestions. We'll see where we're going. All right, y'all. What's chat saying? All right, chat. All right, viewers. Much appreciated. It's been a nice show today. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for tuning in and the support. Catch me tomorrow. Like I said, we'll be taking a flight. Anchor Baby Airlines. I'm taking suggestions. Where should we fly to? Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Catch us tomorrow for JLP's show and, of course, the Hake Report as always. Otherwise, what can I say here, guys? I'm signing out, y'all. Take care. Bye. This is embarrassing. Take care. Bye.